So a very strong message that people have been talking about this morning is listening to the child and letting them tell us. So I'm just wondering if there are recommendations for pre-verbal children. So between the ages of 1 and 2, suggestions of how to approach the topics that we're talking about today.
Okay, so the question is, what about the kids between 1 and 2 who are just developing language or may not even have it yet? They're very action-oriented. So, and at that time, this is where mirroring is really important and listening to actions. So let me give you an example. I have a colleague who's transgender, and there is a video of him as a toddler. So he was assigned female at birth. There's a video of him as a toddler tearing barrettes out of then her hair and throwing them on the ground and sobbing. That's a gender message. And when it happens not just once or twice or 3 times, that's a gender message. Sometimes kids between the age of 1 and 2 with beginning language will say, I boy, when you say girl. Those 2 words, I boy. That's not a pre-verbal, but an early verbal message. And sometimes there's the tendency to say, well, honey, no, you're a girl because little girls have vaginas and you have a vagina, so you're a girl. And then when they get a little older, you'll hear them say, did you not listen to me? I said, I am a boy with a vagina. Okay, but they can't say that between 1 and 2. But they can show you about what they want to play with, and if they feel uncomfortable about how you are responding to them and their gender, if you're misgendering them. So you look for those kinds of actions, like tearing a skirt off. There was one, I think this was in the Barbara Walters special, where this child wore the little onesies with snap-ups in between the legs, and at age 1 would unsnap them to make a dress and have the dress flow. This was a child who was assigned male. That's a communication, a pre-verbal communication about gender. And the message back should not be to negate any of those expressions, but to go with them and see where they go. So that's my sense about the 1 to 2-year-old. And children will know as early as the beginning of the 2nd year of life. They probably know before, but they're really pre-verbal. But you can always be a Monday morning quarterback and go back and see things that gave you some indication. I hope that's helpful in terms of the 1 to 2-year-old.